Hi, I'm Jamie, and I'm Managing Director of Fyndoo by Topicus. They're critical components to the success and resilience of banks aiming to stay relevant in the future, I would say. So for me, inclusion means ensuring equal treatment and opportunities for everyone, regardless their backgrounds, regardless their preferences. The principle also extends beyond banking because it's a social imperative, and unfortunately, inclusivity is not so much a given yet in the financial industry. And that's because the banking landscape is full of gaps, leaving individuals and businesses that do not conform to traditional guidelines without access to basically essential financial services. And if you take credit, for example, then I think many individuals and businesses are left out because either their need or their profile does not fit a bank's acceptance criteria. And I would say that's not very inclusive, right? So this exclusion is not always rooted on intentional bias. It highlights a more systemic issue that needs to be addressed. And as we move towards a more inclusive way of banking, we must look for innovative solutions to bridge these gaps. Then on the other hand, diversity, both within and outside organizations, play a crucial role in achieving inclusiveness. So for example, by fostering a workforce that reflects the diverse society that we serve as the banking industry, I think banks can benefit from much more, a much richer array of perspectives and ideas. This diversity of thought leads to more comprehensive decision making and also innovative solutions that like-minded groups might overlook. I think there's always a way forward, and I also believe that it's our responsibility to find that way forward. With Fyndoo as the technology engine for lenders in mind, I'm touching upon the technology angle here. In my view, inclusiveness is both in action and in skills. And acting is much like behavior, and frankly, that's often just make sure that your policies allow for inclusiveness. That's just agreeing upon the conditions that you go after when you provide financial services. But that's also a bit like put your money where your mouth is, I would say. But if it is about skills, when you want to be diverse, when you want to exclude as little as possible, then you have to have the right technology in place, of course, because otherwise I would say the laws of economics will play tricks with you. And with that in mind, I have some ingredients that I would like to mention here. The first is continuously increase the rate of digitization, and of course also the access to mobile devices, which for some countries is already, I would say, cut and dried, but be aware that this is still not the case in many countries yet. Secondly, go after scalable and flexible setups. So maximum reliance on reference models and no-code concepts. That's also a very important ingredient for the secret sauce, I would say. Then go orchestrate the chain instead of just entering it. Because if you make sure you facilitate all players in that ecosystem, it beings will do the work. I believe that any financial institution, any bank, I would say to them, don't settle for anything less than a seamless and integrated customer journey. So it just has to work perfectly. And also I believe there can be no more excuses for getting customer engagement right, or not right, better to say, because the tech is here and many players have evidenced that you can. Last thing that I would like to mention is design smart processes based on need to engage principles and optimized for efficiency. And I think if you combine, let's say, these topics, that will be a recipe to leave you better prepared to pursue opportunities for inclusion. I think that starts with, of course, a safe environment where you're allowed to be who you are and discourage behavior that does not fit in such an environment. One thing that comes up is don't be judgmental, embrace other perspectives, other perspectives than just what's in your mind. And I think I've learned about a thought which reads, everything you know is wrong, because if you act like the things you know and you're used to do, that will not foster a inclusive, let's say, workplace or environment. But at the same time, I think it's wise to put not too much emphasis on differences and why and what they mean. Achieving diversity and inclusion in the banking industry, that's a multi-dimensional challenge, and I think that requires strategic and continuous efforts. So just to name a few, I think you have to end cultural and structural barriers. Many organizations have been around for a long time. I think the way they work, the way they act are deeply rooted, and I think to overcome them, make sure that also on every layer in the organization you should reflect a diverse, let's say, a diverse group, also to have it working all over the place. Other things is, for example, bias in hiring and promotion. I think many organizations already made a step to have policies or methods in place to overcome this by inviting applicants without knowing who they are, where they are, but just are informed about skills and about things they have achieved. And that's, I think, a way to overcome the bias in hiring and promotion. Another thing is inclusive product design. That's just the conditions that you attach to your financial services and your products, which basically are a means to create an inclusive product offering. And I think some other topics here is leadership commitment. I think if leadership is not involved or not, let's say, engaged with this topic, then I think it's very hard to make a change here. So that's some topics, some challenges that I think still many organizations have to cope with, but we're making progress.